Hi everyone! So I saw that Christopher Robin is out in cinemas at the moment and I thought I'd love to make some food from Winnie the Pooh. Wasn't really sure what to make though because Tigger, from memory, loves malt extract. I could make something from Rabbit's garden, but then I found these cake pans and I loved these. Aren't these cute? They are little beehives. There's a massive one as well, which I've got in my cupboard, but I found them in mini size and they've got these like little bees on them. And I thought, I need to make honey cakes. Winnie the Pooh would love honey cakes. So I'm gonna give these a shot. Before we start, make sure you hit the like button because then you're helping other people find this video. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do because we've got lots of other fun food recipes coming up soon. With that, let's make honey cakes. Now this recipe makes enough for the small beehive cake pan as well as the large beehive. So if you're just wanting to make the one batch for the small beehive cake, you only need 1/3 of this recipe. So to make this, you're going to pop into a saucepan 300 grams of butter. Now normally this recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar, but since we're replacing it with honey, you're only going to need 1 cup of honey. I also added in 6 teaspoons of brown sugar. Now you're going to stir this over medium heat until the brown sugar melts, then let that cool until you can touch the sugar without burning yourself. Because the next step is to mix in 6 eggs and you don't want these cooking. You're going to pour that mixture into your mixer, as well as 3 cups of self-raising flour, 1 cup of plain flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of bicarb soda, 3/4 of a cup of milk, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now to prep your cake pan, you are going to butter it first. I use some melted butter and make sure it's completely coated. Then you are going to dust in some flour. Make sure that, again, that's completely coating the inside of your cake pan. And I flip that over just to let all the excess drop out. And then you're going to pour the cake mixture in, but you're only going to want to fill it 3/4 of the way up because it will puff up because of the baking powder and the bicarb soda. So you're going to pop that into an oven. I make sure it's preheated first. It has to be 150 degrees Celsius, and that's going to take about an hour to cook. Okay, so here are our honey cakes. They're looking really cute. So step 1, that always works. The thing is, I'm actually kind of surprised. They're tasting a little bland. I thought honey was going to do just a little bit more for it. So I'm actually going to take these back into the kitchen. I'm going to say that I'm not finished with this. It's a really nice base, but let's pop this in. I'm going to see if I can create either a glaze or something that I insert into the cake just to give it just a little bit more of a honey flavor that kind of finishes it off. Okay, so I've got 6 cakes here. I'm going to split them into 3 and 3. So I'm going to try 2 different things. So to finish these cakes off, I ended up both soaking them in a honey mixture as well as doing a glaze on top. So in a saucepan, I ended up adding 2 tablespoons of honey, I think it was about a teaspoon of brown sugar and a pinch of ginger. Mix that together and pop that onto the stove. This is just for the 3 cakes, but I just let that warm up, and so it was all mixed together. It was starting to bubble slightly, but then I poured that over the cakes over baking paper. And I just let that soak into the cakes for about half an hour. Then I popped those cakes into the oven for about 20 minutes, and I had it at about 160, I think. But before it went into the oven, I poured just some plain honey all over the cakes. Some of it infused and soaked in a bit more, but some of it created a little bit of a coating on top as well. Anyways, it turned out really well, so I was pretty happy with the end result, and it was just enough to get that honey flavor back into the honey cakes. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys in the next video.